To test the DME and the VOR, hit the test functions, click the DME page. I can click the VOR and DME page. Again, if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner, the default and configurations are grayed out because we use specific pages for setting up our VOR and setting up our DME. Let's start with the VOR. Click the VOR setup. This is the standard VOR test page. Down the bottom you have your config. You can set your configuration, you can change your frequency, your power, your modulation and your ident. So you'd set up the VOR as you normally would do. When I've done that, I exit, I go back to the VOR and DME page. Now I set up the DME by clicking the DME setup. Again, the config is active. I can change the config to whatever scenario I would like, and then I can program the reply frequency, the channel, the power, the rate and range of the scenario, and the percent replies. Once I've set up my DME, I exit, and I can start the test. At the top you see the bearing. This is the VOR bearing that can be changed in the middle of the test as the test is running. So at the top you see the bearing indicator with the controls to change that bearing during the test. At the bottom you see a grayed out box which will give you the DME distance in nautical miles from the aircraft under test to the pseudo ARTS beacon. Once I start the test, you can see everything is now active. Right now I'm on a 0° VOR bearing. I can change that. In this case it steps at 10 degrees. I'll take that to 30 degrees. If I click the values, I can put any value in here I like. I can change it to 180 degrees. At the bottom of the page, you will see an indicator that represents the nautical miles decreasing from the aircraft to the pseudo beacon, because we are set to in. If I click out, now I'm flying away from the beacon, that nautical miles, that distance measurement will start increasing again. And all the while, the bearing is still active. So we're now stimulating the signals for VOR and a DME at the same time. This allows you to control both instruments in the cockpit to verify the functionality of both systems at the same time. It's more of a real-world scenario test where the aircraft will be navigating using VOR and DME at the same time. To finish, a simple stop test takes us back, and an exit takes us back to the DME menu. Back one more time to the functions menu.